So the police, like several police groups and several anti-drug groups, have come out of the woodwork and are calling on congressional leaders to let the hemp ban take place without delay. I this is from Marijuana Moment. We're going to go over this article, and then we're going to cover an article from the Supreme Court that's also kind of interesting and somewhat related, because it's essentially saying, like, it's a case like, hey, if you do drugs, like anything from marijuana to fucking opioids, can you own a gun? We're going to talk about that case here in a moment. And then I just always, like, when I do these videos, I just have to show you the facts and how many people die from marijuana and how many people die from alcohol on a yearly basis. So we're going to get into that as well. Without further ado, let's start with this first article from Marijuana Moment. I have some stuff highlighted here. We're not going to get into the nitty gritty of things, but we'll see. We'll see what's going on here with these fucking groups. Police and anti-drug groups call on key congressional leaders to let hemp THC ban take effect without delay. A coalition of law enforcement and anti-drug groups is calling on congressional leaders to oppose efforts to delay the implementation of a law that's set to recriminalize most hemp THC products within months. A policy change that industry stakeholders say would fundamentally upend the market that's emerged since the crop and its derivatives were federally legalized. Yeah, we're talking about a $30+ billion industry. Like, I think the $30 billion industry comes from figures like from 2023. It's probably even bigger now, just saying. In a letter sent to the House and Senate Agriculture Committee leaders last month, the organization said the law that President Donald Trump signed last year that included the hemp THC ban, which takes effect in November, is a major public health, safety, and consumer protection success. Ooh, you wait. I have facts. For years, manufacturers and retailers exploited ambiguities in the 2018 Farm Bill's hemp definition to market highly intoxicating products as legal hemp, with many chemically converted versions marketed as far more potent than regular marijuana. And guess what? Guess what? No one's died from them. The only health-related events from any form of marijuana, like actual serious, is when you have like some shady ass company, like some black market fucking cart, like vape cartridge that is cut with shit like vitamin E. It's not the THC in it, no matter how fucking much you have it on steroids. All right, let's be clear about that. It is pretty much impossible to overdose on marijuana. You can make the THC as potent as possible, and it is not going to kill you. Alcohol, on the other hand, is literal poison, and there's limits on, how concentrated alcohol can be sold in consumable versions, because it will actually fucking kill you. Let's see. Versions marketed far more potent than regular marijuana. It says this created a fragmented and costly enforcement problem. Whether a product was unlawful often required time-consuming testing, legal interpretation, and agency-by-agency disentanglement. Okay, here's a suggestion. Legalize it. Legalize all marijuana, all hemp, whatever you want to call it, whatever. Because, like, at the end of the day, hemp, marijuana, like, prior to the amendment to the Farm Bill that took place in the government spending bill last year, hemp was essentially marijuana. Like, because you could get like hemp flower that was chemically the same makeup as marijuana, and just under a certain legal loophole that is now closed, you could say like, oh no, it's just hemp, but like chemically it is quite literally marijuana. It's nothing different. It's not magic or anything like that. Let's see. In addition to CADCA, the letter was signed by groups such as DARE, America, Drug Enforcement Association. Okay, I'm not going to read all these. A bunch of fucking, yeah, like a shame on every single one of these companies, organizations, whatever. Public Law 11937 draws a practical, enforceable line between legitimate hemp commerce and intoxicating products deceptively marketed as hemp, they said. Critically, this is not a ban on hemp farming. Fiber, grain, seed, and other traditional hemp cultivation remains lawful. Yeah, okay. So, I hate to break it to you. Obviously, I don't have any numbers to back this up. I'm just going based on like pure guess. But I'm going to guess like the 30 to 40 billion hemp industry. I'm going to guess like you'll be lucky if you got a couple billion that's actually for fiber, grain, and seed. All right, let's be real here. So, like, oh my God, it breaks my mind on how we could take these stances against marijuana, when by every measurable like application, it is better than alcohol. Someone extremely high on marijuana is going to be a lot more functional than someone extremely fucking inebriated. Someone who gets infinitely high on marijuana will not die. Someone who drinks too much has a very real possibility of dying, and it happens, as we're going to look at the facts here in a second. Let's see. Claims that additional time is needed to develop regulations for intoxicating hemp-derived THC products are misplaced. Research and enforcement experience show that attempting to regulate these products has resulted in widespread non-compliance, continued youth access. Oh, the youth, the kids. Oh. Misleading marketing and persistent public health harms, even in states that have enacted substantial regulations. And like, where's the evidence for this? There is none, because we did other videos looking this up. We're talking like in the dozens to maybe hundreds of like emergency room visits for like, I don't even want to say like, I'm trying to think of how to word this. Like, it is statistically insignificant, the public health harm that marijuana has. Okay, it's just that's the best way to put it. These products are continually reformulated to evade thresholds, testing requirements, and enforcement, rendering regulatory frameworks ineffective and resource intensive to administer. Public Law 11937 appropriately resolves this problem by not attempting to regulate an inherently invasive market, but by restoring a clear legal boundary on intoxicating hemp products. So banning them. That's a long-winded way to say ban. Like if these people were in principle against alcohol as well, like they were going to the mat to get alcohol banned, not that I think that is appropriate at all. I'm more of like a legalize all drugs kind of guy, but or at the very least decriminalize. But then I'd be like, okay, at least you guys have principles. But going after marijuana, saying it harms public health and it's bad for you, it's targeted towards kids. Every single argument can actually be realistically made with alcohol. Contrary to arguments from stakeholders, the anti-drug group said that the one-year implementation timeline that started last November is reasonable, providing enough time for manufacturers to cease production or reformulate to non-intoxicating CBD products. Here's the thing. Majority of the CBD products on the market that are non-intoxicating are going to be outlawed in this bill because of how fucking stringent it is. It's for retailers to clear inventory and for regulators to prepare for consistent enforcement while preventing further entrenchment of a national marketplace in highly intoxicating hemp-derived products. Like, I'm sorry. Like, why is intoxication only bad when it's from marijuana, but not alcohol, which kills hundreds of thousands of people every year directly, not even getting into deaths from drunk driving, not getting into the public safety concerns of just like the aggressive nature that alcohol brings out in people. Just a 3-year delay would do the opposite. They said it would normalize and entrench the current marketplace by sustaining nationwide retail access to high potency intoxicants, increasing youth exposure poisonings and preventable injuries, prolonging the cost of fragmented enforcement environment that prompted Congress to act. You can't be poisoned by marijuana. You can be poisoned by the stuff that they cut the carts in. But like I remember doing the research on this and actually doing a video on it. We're talking like dozens of cases for that. Dozens over the course of years. Insane to me. Like, so shut the fuck up. Okay, let's jump over the Supreme Court. Then I want to get into the facts real quick. So this is from Politico. Supreme Court wrestles with gun ban for drug users. The Supreme, again, drug users. There's going to be no mention of alcohol. The Supreme Court which compromises you more than most fucking drugs. The Supreme Court appears likely to rule in favor of a Texas man who uses marijuana several times a week and was convicted under a federal law that bans an unlawful user of drugs from possessing a gun. Man, Republicans just love shitting on the Second Amendment when it benefits them. Like, they're all Second Amendment when it comes to, like, reasonable legislation. Like, hey, maybe you can't buy a fucking drum magazine that you can hold 200 fucking rounds in it. However, following 2 hours of arguments, the High Court on Monday, it was unclear whether the justices will use the case against Ali Khamenei to issue another major ruling. on when the government can intrude on the Second Amendment right to bear arms. The Trump administration, which has vigorously supported gun rights, broke with many Second Amendment advocates by asking the Supreme Court to uphold the ban on gun possession by drug users. There you have it. I'm tired of hearing, oh, Republicans are for fucking freedom of speech. They're for the Second Amendment. They're for owning guns. When both of those have been completely nullified in several instances by this current administration and Republicans across the country. So, like, remember Alex Preddy? Oh, he had a gun on him that he didn't draw or threaten or brandish or anything. But he had a gun on him, so he deserved to fucking die. 2023, President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, was charged with violating the same gun possession statute. An indictment accused him of possessing a revolver while being both an unlawful user of drugs and addicted to them. At a jury trial in Delaware the following year, Hunter Biden was convicted on 3 felony gun charges while he was awaiting sentences. His father issued the younger Biden a broad pardon for any federal crimes he may have committed over an 11-year period. You see, that was a terrible move. That was like one of the... It's up there with some of the dumbest things that Biden did, especially on his way out. But the fact that the justice system actually went through and charged him, indicted him while Biden was president just shows you like how like the DOJ used to actually be separate from like the presidency. Because could you imagine the DOJ or any real investigations, federal investigations happening to one of Trump's sons while Trump's in office? Not a chance. All right. So this is from the DEA's website. There are a million things I could get into, but we're just going to focus on overdose right now. What are its overdose effects? No deaths from overdose of marijuana have been reported, although there have been an increasing number of emergency room visits involving marijuana edibles. Yes, that is people who took too much, and they just go to the emergency room and they get fluids. They don't need any real treatment or anything like that. Like, they don't go in there with like fucking lung failure or liver failure. Lung failure, if they have a cart, that's cut by vitamin E. But like I said, we're talking dozens of cases over the course of years. Now, prepare for your mind to be fucking blown. All this talk about how dangerous weed is and hemp is, intoxicating hemp. Excessive alcohol use, excessive, U.S. This is just the U.S., caused about 178,000 deaths each year. Over 100,000 deaths. And all these fucking organizations want to come out and be like, oh, it's weed, it's intoxicating hemp. That's actually a public health fucking crisis. Blow me. Blow me from the fucking back. Are you for real right now? 178,000. This is not getting in to all of the other like indirect deaths, or you could call them direct, like in the case of like when someone's driving drunk and kills someone. Of course, that happens with weed too. But we're talking, if you were to take all of those cases, it's like 99% DUIs or DUI incidents, accidents are from alcohol, and like 1% are other, including marijuana. Like, I don't know how. Like, I mean, I should be used to this because we live in an era where we have to fight with reality every single day and try to be like, hey, this is reality. You know that, right? And you have one side that's like, what? Like, it's so dumb, man. All right, let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one. If you made it to this point in the video, I just want to give a special thank you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button down below, and if you really enjoyed it, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I will try to reply to any and all comments that I can. Until next time, watch that video on screen.